Mr. Sutherland here, and we're going to get started on tuning our ukuleles. Yeah, I said ukuleles. Now that was extremely terrible. That was really out of tune. Now when a musician says that was out of tune, it can mean one of two things. It can mean that your instrument is way too flat, or some of the strings are way too flat, or it's too sharp. Maybe the pitch is higher than where the center is. Now what we have here is a representation of an electronic tuner. An electronic tuner takes a signal or a sound from your instrument, maybe it's a string or your voice even, receives it into its system to tell you whether or not that you're in tune. Now it'll tell you probably if you're playing a C or an E, and it'll tell you whether those pitches are in tune. Are they either too flat or are they too sharp? And this is right here in the green, the sweet spot if you will. Now normally we tune everything in A440, which means if you played an A, and usually this entails playing an oboe or playing a violin, you open A on the violin and it should equal 440 hertz, a mathematical representation of the wave and the sound, right? 440 hertz is what we base all the other pitches off of. Now, this is a sweet spot. If you have an electronic tuner and you're playing a note, let's say it is A, and you see the dial moving from left to right, and it's usually probably staying more on the left side, you're probably going to be flat, which means you need to raise the pitch higher in sound. So if it's flat, you may be sounding, instead of A here, ah, your pitch may sound a little lower in this side. Ah, that was more of a half step than it is here, so it's really, really flat. So ah, perfect in tune A440. If it's too sharp, it'll be higher. Ah, but then you can come down right to the sweet spot if you turn the instrument down or tune it lower or longer the instrument, make it flatter, it should be equal to the sweet spot. Ah! And so there you have it. Now there are a few ways to get your hands on an electronic tuner. One way is to download an app. Some of them may cost some money, some of them are free. Of course, you get what you paid for. If you get more of the free ones, they're probably not going to work as well. Look at the reviews before you download or purchase any apps on Android or iOS. Another way to get your electronic tuner is to go buy one at a music store or order one online. The price range can be anywhere from $20 up to $80, maybe $100. They all come with different features. Most of them will come with a metronome included in it, or just a straight tuner, or a combination with a recorder device so you can record yourself while you play or sing. And some of them will come with a clip-on microphone that takes the vibration from your instrument and lets you know whether or not you are in tune, flat or sharp. And it's pretty accurate. I like using those, especially on my string instrument. Of course, a less expensive way probably would just be using the keyboard already you have at home. Depending if it's a natural keyboard, like an actual piano, you may have to make sure that the piano is in tune already. Get a piano tuner out there to help adjust the tuning on the strings. Or just use a digital keyboard or an app on the phone that has a keyboard on it. Make sure, however, to research your instrument to make sure you understand the tuning system for your ukulele or guitar or bass, whatever instrument you'll be using. Let's try tuning this ukulele with a keyboard. Now, if we know the tuning system for the ukulele, which is G, C, E, and A, we can base it off this keyboard starting from C4 and up to C5. Now, the C string, which is right here, starts on C4. We're going to pluck it one time and play the keyboard on C. That's obviously bad. So, let's pluck this string first and then play the keyboard. You can tell that maybe this string is not higher than this C. Let me try it again. It's lower than the keyboard. And the keyboard, especially a digital one, is always in tune. So let's try playing the string again, playing the keyboard. Hold that note out for a little bit, and we can pluck the string one more time, and then move and adjust the knob accordingly. A little high, let me bring it down a little bit. Now it's in tune. It took me a few tries. I had to find the center where this C is frequency matches the frequency of this C on the ukulele. Now they're a bit off because it's not, my ear's not perfect. I don't have perfect pitch. But you can use a machine like this digital keyboard that'll always be perfect enough to get it close. Great. The next string below that one is an E. So we find the E on the keyboard. We pluck the string first, then play the E on the keyboard. This is high. You can tell that the keyboard is lower than the actual ukulele. So we have to bring this pitch down a little bit. Play the keyboard first. Good, got it the first try. Let's do the next string. Let's go to the top one, which is G, alright? Which would be the G on the keyboard. This is the keyboard. This is the ukulele. It's a little low. Ooh, too high. I went and overshot it. Oh, too low. A little lower, or a little higher. There we go. So far I got it pretty much in tune. And the next string, the bottom one, alright, that's the lowest string on here. Well, not the lowest string in pitch, but the farthest down from the bottom. And it's the highest in pitch, actually. So we find A, which is this string, on the keyboard, then plug the string. Oh wow, it's already in tune. Mostly. Little fine adjustments to make sure that it's in center with this A. It's in tune. So your ukulele should really sound like this without pressing any buttons, or any frets rather. Buttons. Now, in the likelihood that you have a ukulele at home to play with or to tune, I would suggest going to ukutuner.com. I'll post a link below. That's ukutuner.com.